Good morning, this is your wake up call.
Hello friends, and welcome back to Now Awake Wisdom. Today is going to be very interesting. This is the most interesting topic I think I've ever covered, and it's the most well documented. Today we're going to be going through a hot topic, CERN, and how it connects to a Nostradamus prophecy. Okay, first off, the Nostradamus prophecy is quatrain 44, and the quatrain reads like this: leave Geneva, every last one of you. Saturn from gold to iron will be changed. The opposing ray pause will exterminate all. Before it has started, the sky will show signs. Alright, I'm going to be explaining with documentation every last word of this quatrain, starting from leave Geneva, every last one of you. Now, here's a basic question for all of you. Where is CERN? Well, CERN's in Switzerland, Geneva to be exact. So the first line, leave every last one of you. I think that's self-explanatory. CERN's in Geneva, and you don't want to be around Geneva when this event goes down. So we'll go to line number 2 of this quatrain. Saturn from gold to iron will be changed. Okay, let's start at Saturn. Saturn is known as the planet of Satan. There are many different descriptions of this, and a few are Satan. The number of Satan is known as 666, right? Well, Saturn is the sixth planet. Saturn also has weather patterns on it that make a six-pointed star. It supposedly has a hexagon weather formations, and Saturn Day is the 6th day of the week. So now that we've explained Saturn as Satan, so we can take this second line to be stated as Satan from gold to iron will be changed. Now, to explain the gold from iron will be changed has a few different meanings. Number one, I think it has to do with the scientists now at CERN being the modern day alchemists, changing elements by smashing them together at almost light speed. And next, I think also, since Saturn we're taken to mean as Satan, from gold to iron will be changed, I believe that means Satan will be changed from gold, which is a weaker metal, to iron, which is a stronger metal. So Satan will be changed through CERN from as he is now to extremely strong. From gold to iron he will be changed. CERN is opening the gates to hell to let him and his minions walk the earth, literally. And they're giving him much more power than he currently has. So he's being changed from weak gold to very strong iron. Now, here's where it gets most confusing when you get to the third line of the quatrain. The third line reads, the opposing ray pose will exterminate all. Now, I had to do a little bit of research on this. When I put this all together, it struck me like a flash of lightning. I couldn't even speak. I was just awestruck. Let me try to explain this to you. Now stick with me here. The opposing ray pause will exterminate all. The main word in this sentence is ray pause. It took me a while to figure this out, but ray pause is a play on words. If you listen, ray pause. Ray is in laser and positive. See, this is where it confused me, but when I caught it, it just amazed me. The lasers that they're using at CERN are electron lasers, and the electron is negative. So if you turn the negative to a positive, you're reversing it. So if you take a picture of the laser in CERN and you reverse it, make it the negative, from negative to positive. You take the picture from positive to negative, just reversing it. Take a look at this picture. First, take a look at the picture, switch it from positive to negative, and zoom in on it. Now take a real close look at this picture. I'm going to leave it up here for a second and tell me what you see. It might take a second for your eyes to adjust, but what I see in this picture is a demon. This is the meaning of ray pause. And now if you go down to the last line of the quatrain, before it is started, the sky will show signs. Now, on August 2015, the sky above Switzerland, there was a hole in the clouds. There was like a vortex sucking into itself. The only way I could explain it is it looked like a black hole, but in reverse, because it was like a sunny day and it was white clouds. And I left a link to this in the description below. If you don't believe me, go down and watch the link. This is in Switzerland during the time CERN is supposed to be active, in the sky, showing signs. I don't know how much more clear this can get. So, one final thing I want to leave you with is Revelation 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Think about that. So today I'm going to start with black holes in CERN. Now, a lot of people are worried that CERN is going to open a black hole. And, well, they are going to open a black hole. But black holes aren't what most people think they are. A lot of people think that black holes are something that crushes everything down into a tiny little ball. And if CERN creates a black hole, it's going to crush the whole world and our whole universe down into a tiny, tiny little ball. Well, that's not quite correct. If you go onto Google and you do a search black holes don't exist, you'll get lots of papers from lots of physicists that are explaining why black holes aren't what people think they are. Even Stephen Hawking has a paper about how black holes aren't what people think they are. Now, they can't be because, first off, they break Einstein's laws of relativity and they break quantum mechanics. So, first off, you got to understand what black holes are. A black hole is a portal to a different dimension, okay? Now, CERN is opening portals to different dimensions. If you watched my last video, or any other number of videos that show the pictures that CERN themselves put out of the lasers, there are pictures of demons trying to come through the portals that they are making with their lasers. Now, that's just one part of the talk. Another part is the reason why physicists don't agree with CERN. Now, a lot of people say, well, because CERN's going to open a black hole and it's going to crush the world. Wrong. The reason why most physicists don't agree with CERN is because CERN, there's no reference to what they're doing. Nobody's ever done it before. They're using things they don't know about, and they're adding more and more power to it. So it could be like, well, first off, they're rushing particles, crashing them together at close to the speed of light. They could accidentally stumble upon the next biggest nuclear bomb and blow off half of the Earth. Now, the first Hadron Collider, when it was at lower power, exploded, and they already proved this point. And now they're dealing with more and more power. And that's why most physicists don't agree with it, because they don't know what they're doing. There's no way to regulate it. There's no reference, so they could just stumble upon something that could destroy civilization. So let's take a look at a couple different things, different reasons why I think CERN is doing something that they're not telling us, and it's not a good thing. First off, you got the pictures of the demons coming through the portal. I already went over that. So the next thing is, the scientists are openly admitting that there are weird phenomenon going on during their experiments, and there are apparitions, ghosts that they can see there, that the scientists openly say there's apparitions in our experiments. So you got the demons, you got the scientists openly admitting as apparitions and weird things. And to add on top of that, right out in the front of the building is a statue to Shiva, the destroyer of worlds. Now, I don't know what that's trying to say, but that's really a messed up sign. People already think they're going to blow up half of the world, and then you got this statue outside of Shiva, the destroyer of worlds. So you got the apparitions, you got the demons in the photos, you got Shiva, the destroyer of the world. And take CERN itself, take a look at this logo, turn it upside down, and what do you got? 666, right in the logo. These are just a few topics that I'm touching on. Let me know what you think about these. Now, there's a couple other topics that I want to bring into light. The first time when CERN exploded, there was a major earthquake that happened that a lot of people think was in some way connected to the explosion at CERN. Now that they're up and running again at a higher power, in the last few weeks, Google San Francisco earthquakes. In the last few weeks, there has been over 400 earthquakes in San Francisco. And I think there was something like 100 and some in one day. Okay? Now, maybe that's just a coincidence, but the first time CERN exploded had an earthquake. Now we have 400 earthquakes in a couple weeks. I mean, when does that happen? It doesn't sound like something that should be happening to me. And if you take a little stroll away from San Francisco towards Wyoming, Wyoming has a huge crack that just opened up in the middle of Wyoming, and they say, well, this is normal. In the springtime it could happen, but in case you haven't noticed, this is now November. It's not the spring, so that makes it not very normal. Oh, and here's a couple more interesting facts I'd like to add. In case anybody didn't know, maybe you haven't researched this as much as I have, but CERN is not the only Hadron Collider in the world. There are many of them. I believe every country just about has their own Hadron Collider. And this is something you're definitely going to want to look into. China is building a large Hadron Collider 7 times the size of CERN. Now, that's a little bit scary, and it kind of makes me think that this can be used as a weapon, maybe, that they're not telling us about. Now, at the current time, CERN is set up to do their collisions with lead. If you refer back to my older videos, this strengthens the comparison of the scientists at CERN to modern day alchemists colliding lead. I don't know, maybe they're trying to make gold, or maybe they're just trying to open a portal to a different dimension. Now, one new thing that I learned about CERN is that the Vatican has an office in CERN. What in the world does the Vatican have an office at CERN for? Well, one reason is some of the new things I found out about CERN is the scientists say that CERN has so much electromagnetism that it could put a hole right through the middle of the earth where it stands. Another thing that I learned is that CERN is built or located on the site of the Roman temple of the sun god Apollyon. He's also known as the serpent, the very same person as Lucifer, Belial, or Satan. This, I believe, is the location of the abyss. If CERN has enough electromagnetism to blow a hole straight through the earth, that would definitely be unlocking the abyss. And I believe that CERN is the key to the abyss. Opening interdimensional portals provides access to the abyss, or the center of the earth, and is also connected with the prison planet Saturn. Now, there are kids. I've done some research and read some things and seen some things about kids when they're waiting to be born, and in between lives, they remember exploring the solar system. And one kid was told when entering the atmosphere of Saturn not to look or listen to the sights or sounds while entering Saturn, because it is so horrific. And this same child describes when she got to the planet, the people were actually rocks. Now, what better way to keep someone in bondage than to make them rocks, trapped for as long as they would be sentenced on Saturn, or the planet of Satan. Now I want to read something for you also from Revelation 9. We read of a king of the bottomless pit named Apollyon. The locusts looked as horses prepared for battle. On their heads they wore something like crowns of gold, and their faces resembled human faces. Their hair was like woman's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. They had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses and chariots rushing into battle. They had tails with stingers like scorpions, and in their tails they had power to torment people for 5 months. They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek is Apollyon. That is destroyer. Okay, now if you watched my other videos on CERN, you would have seen the pictures of the beam with a picture of a demon in it, and this demon is thought to be Kali, and that makes sense because Kali is also related to Shiva, Shiva the destroyer, which also Apollyon is the destroyer. This all starts to blend together when you got Shiva the destroyer, Apollyon the destroyer, the abyss, and unlocking the abyss, and CERN is trying to open different dimensions, letting demons out. This all goes hand in hand. And in the scripture I just read to you, pretty much describes Kali with the crown, human face, long woman's hair, etc. If you look at the video, this demon has all these features. The more I research it, the more it is blatantly obvious what's going on here. Like I said, everything just fits together perfectly, and we don't have much longer to find out what's really going on, because CERN is going to be shutting down on December 14th. So between now and the 13th of December, I guess we're going to find out what's really going on, unless their plan is thwarted or is ruined by some unknown force, or I don't know, the return of Jesus, or anything. Unless their plan is stopped by the 14th, we're going to really figure out what CERN is all about. So I'm going to keep researching, and I'm going to keep watching CERN. If I see anything new, I will update you with a new video. One other point that I want to make, the Bible does say that the delusion would be so strong that even the elect would be deceived if it were possible. So people might just look the other way, and it's scary. So I guess we'll see by the 14th what is going to happen. So if you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Peace.